Is an SUTV student production. The views expressed are not necessarily those of Salisbury University, the University Systems of Maryland, its regents, administration, officers, employees, or representatives.
Good evening and welcome to SUTV Sports Night. I'm Will Ovington.
I'm Travis Nardella.
I'm Amanda Newman.
And I'm Amir Carter.
The number 2 men's lacrosse team celebrated its Lax for Leukemia Youth Day with an 11-6 victory in conference play over St. Mary's College of Maryland. Senior attackman Luke Phipps scored just 41 seconds into the game to give the Seagulls an early lead, but the Seahawks would take the lead, scoring 2 straight goals before Phipps tied it up again at the end of the first quarter. Both teams swapped goals early in the second, St. Mary's striking first with senior midfielder Chris Bianc, knotting it up 15 seconds later. The teams swapped a few more goals before the Seagulls went into the half with a 6-4 lead. Seagulls came out at halftime ready to play, scoring 3 unanswered goals in the third quarter. Seagulls never looked back, cruising to an 11-6 final. Phipps led the team with 3 goals. The Seagulls are in action tonight, continuing their 4-game homestand against CAC opponent Wesley College at Seagull Stadium.
That's a big game. It's going to be a big game.
Big game.
Yeah.
So, who saw the game last night?
I did.
Anybody bet? Anybody bet on the game?
Nah.
I was kind of in a pool, but I didn't bet on the game.
Oh, okay.
Just to say,
Yeah.
for bragging
Just bragging
rights.
rights.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly, because, gambling is bad.
Oh yeah, totally.
Especially when you have no control over it.
So, what do you guys think?
Yikes.
I was happy with the outcome. I don't like Kentucky at all, so I was rooting for Connecticut. I like Shabazz Napier. I like Kevin Ollie. So I was happy.
I thought it looked in the first half like it was going to be it wasn't going to be as close a game as it was in the end. Kentucky tried to make it interesting towards the end of the first half and the end of the second half. But I think overall it was a great game. If Kentucky could have made more free throws, it would have been a much better game probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall it was a great game.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the outcome, only because I wanted Kentucky to win, but I was happy to see that the 5 starting freshmen could do as well as they could. They could pretty much handle the pressure, not completely, because they didn't win, but the close scoring game shows that they can compete, and next year, hopefully, they'll get there again.
Did you see the
But
difference?
it's going to be different.
It won't be
It's
the
going to be a
same,
completely,
of course,
it's going to be a
but
completely
still.
different roster though.
They're going to win it. No, they won't.
Okay.
Because this is what I want to get. Okay, I was okay. This is one of the things, like with the Super Bowl, kind of, whoever won, I would be okay with it. Like, I like Kentucky. I like the young guys winning. And if they won, I would have said, like, to Will, they're the best basketball team ever. I would have just said that over and over, even if it wasn't true. But looking at the past, we've seen the Fab Five, and we've seen teams who have close to all freshmen starting. When we have all freshmen starting, I don't think it ever could, compared to a team who has seniors on it. Like, I don't care how good they are. It could have been LeBron James and Melo on the same team as freshmen, and even though they're so great, they might have won. But none of them are like superstars. So when you have 5 freshmen who are really good and could be like stars on other teams or like just key players on other teams, and you put them together, it's kind of hard. Like next year, they will probably have a chance of winning if they all stayed. Hopefully that Julius Randle doesn't call timeout when they don't have any. But like with the Fab Five, I was like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna win. Just they won't allow 5 freshmen to prove everybody wrong and say, hey, you're gonna win. So, but I like Shabazz Napier. He's great. Like he would just pull up from 3 like that, like it was like just so easy. He would just come up, dribbling in the offense, shoot, and I'd be like, why did he? Oh, and he makes it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shut up. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. And I like that coach too. So.
What did you think of Shabazz's statement after the game, saying this is what happens when you ban us?
Interesting, because usually when it's not the NBA or NFL or MLB where they can say stuff and they're adults and people are like, okay, all right, he's like Richard Sherman. If somebody said that in college, they'd be like whoa, like when college players kind of speak out. Because they're young, they kind of look at them as like, okay, they're kids or they're teens. They need to like be quiet. So that was interesting. It kind of threw me off guard, and I was like, okay, we won't do that again. But like what does he expect to do? But I guess they had a chip on their shoulder, so I like that sometimes.
But do you think he had a point like they had something to prove because of their ban from last season.
Yeah, they did. But I mean, that's how we thought USC was going to be when they came back, and obviously Matt Barkley's season that year didn't go that well, and Ohio State had that feeling with being not being able to go to like BCS championship and tournaments and things like that, and Penn State will probably have that when they're officially done. So everybody has. I mean, when you can't. Because of a ban and it's stopping you from doing something, obviously you're going to be furious, especially when a team like UConn, who obviously we see go there a couple years ago. I can't remember the year, but when Kemba Walker's team went, it happened. So I'm not surprised he said that. That it's a good team and they're smart. So he knows what he's doing. That bumped his draft stock up. I know that. So hey.
I was also happy for. Well, the only reason why I was happy for UConn was because of the coach and his mom. Like, that's such a great thing that his mom could see him win the championship. So you got to think of it in that way. That's good.
So question, let's go back to that game where Kentucky was playing Wisconsin. Did you watch the final play?
Yeah.
Well, not the final, but the shot
Yeah,
by
I
Aaron
saw
Harris.
that.
I was watching it live. It was amazing to me just to see. I just felt it was so cool to have his twin brother, Andrew Harrison, pass him the ball. And then he's holding the ball. He's just like, go, go, go. And then he shoots and makes it. And then, like, you see his dad. His dad, like, looked to the crowd like, yeah, that's my child. Like, that was just an amazing moment. I wanted them to win so bad just because of that. I'm like, that's great. Just you and your twin brother to a nice level. But, I mean, they're going to the NBA, I guess. So I guess that's better to get paid instead of people watching you for free.
I feel like, a couple weeks ago when we were talking about how, like, when Duke lost, Jabari Parker didn't play well. When Kansas lost, Andrew Wiggins didn't play well. When Syracuse lost, Tyler Ennis didn't play well. That didn't really happen for Kentucky because it wasn't just one freshman superstar. It was a whole team of freshman superstars.
Exactly.
So if one of them had a bad game, then another 3 or 4 of them were going to have good games. Like, even in the national championship game, Julius Randle didn't play that well, but he had a whole team of superstars behind him to keep.
James Young did really good.
Yeah.
James Young has been doing he's like the low-key guy. Like, we notice him. He'll have like a spectacular, like his dunk where he dunked on the whole team, which came out of nowhere. Oh my, that was ridiculous. But it's like he'll have moments like that, and he'll be like, "Oh, who had the most points?" It was like James Young with 20. I was like, when did he get 20 points?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like their whole. They were smart. That's how he shows that Calipari, like, he's smart with who he picks on the team. He knows that if he gets one freshman, he's gonna get 4 more just to take the pressure off. They'll all take the pressure on together, and obviously we see that work. So it's like Kansas, you see them one freshman, and it didn't work that well. Jabari Parker, Arizona, who we thought was gonna, I had them going to the Final Four. And you see that happening. So it's amazing just to see them come together and play. But too bad they're all gonna go to the NBA next year.
Yeah.
So who's the number 1 pick in the draft right now? If you had to pick,
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Andrew Wiggins, just because I think Jabari Parker's coming back next year, hopefully. Praying on it.
I want him to, and he actually wants to come back, like
does.
everybody else. And he even said, like, I feel like my career is, incomplete. But I mean, it's hard. I mean, where he's from in Chicago, and his father has to consistently go to like dialysis and things like that. So it's a lot of family stuff going on. And if they're telling you, hey, look, you can take this $30 million and we can help your family out, or you can go to school and get an education, but you're going to the NBA the next year. So, I mean, he wants to stay, but it's hard to turn down money at that age. Like, he's, 19 years old, and $30 million.
Yeah.
If somebody told you to go to the NBA tomorrow, Travis, you would go. But yeah,
I would.
I want him to stay. But if he stays, Duke is going to win next year. I feel like they would.
All right.
I'm calling it.
Yeah, call it
Jabari
right now,
Parker
the day
stays.
after.
Duke wins.
The
I don't like
tournament.
losing the first round again.
Always an upset. And tonight's the women's game, UConn and Notre Dame.
Yeah, Connecticut's got a chance to win both for the second time. It being both schools win the same. Both schools win the champ. Oh my God, I can't say it.
This will be the second
same
time that
school.
one school wins both basketball.
There you go.
Way to save him.
Teamwork. Who are you guys picking for tonight?
Connecticut.
I'm going to go with Connecticut just because I want to see that happen again.
Yeah, me too. Who are you going to go
I've
with?
seen Connecticut win it enough. I
You're
mean,
going to go with Notre Dame?
Gino, what's his name? How do you say his last name? The coach?
Auriemma.
Auriemma. I didn't want to mispronounce it. He's 8-0 in the championship. Like, come on. Like, somebody got to break the streak. Their streak got broken when they won 99 games in a row, which was ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I don't know how you win 99 games in a row when the team actually changes. Like, I mean, I know the females don't usually go to the NBA as frequent as guys do. They'll stay longer. But still, like 99 games in a row, I don't know how you do that. And then I think, did they go on and win the championship that year?
I don't think they
Probably.
I think they got close or something, but it wasn't like, oh, okay, season over. No. So I'm always seeing him win. And Notre Dame lost twice when my girlfriend Skylar Diggins lost there in 2011, 2012. So I want them to win one for her.
For her.
Just for her. We have the same birthday, so we're matchmaking in heaven.
Oh.
But that's another story.
All right.
But yeah, I want Notre Dame again. But if UConn wins, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just gonna be like, I knew it. Like,
it's a pretty interesting matchup, as it's the first ever national championship game where both teams are undefeated coming in.
Yeah. They also talked about, who was it? Auburn and Oregon in football.
Yeah.
They were both undefeated. It was like Jerry Rice when he was in college. So it was only like 3 other times where this happened, but I don't think it wasn't in basketball.
Yeah.
It was in other sports. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It's either gonna be like a lopsided game and we'll show how great UConn is, or Notre Dame will come out fighting and then UConn comes back at I don't know. I'm actually gonna watch this game. I haven't really been watching the women's tournament this year.
Yeah.
I usually do, but I don't know why I haven't. So.
All right, just for a second, going back to the NBA draft, Marcus Smart has declared that he's going, but some people are saying that his draft stock got hurt by him deciding to stay another year. And there's all this talk saying that, people want the athletes to stay in college longer, but now they're saying that his draft stock is getting hurt, so it's a little bit hypocritical. What do you guys think?
I think the biggest thing that people are saying, not because his team didn't do well, it was like his team didn't do well, the incident happened, and we saw his attitude a lot. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, the guy probably said something mean. I understand that would happen. I'm not saying he had to hit him. And then I saw later, like, just he seemed like just like always mad and has a temper, like a Ron Artest, Dennis Rodman type of guy, just to like go off when things like when he wasn't making his free throws and he was just like getting, so I was like, okay. So obviously the guy could have just said, hey, Marcus, boo, you stink, and he would have pushed him. So I think just his image kind of went down. Like, everybody was all hyped up and then down. But yeah, that is hard to say. Like, how are you gonna tell us to stay in college, but then my draft stock gets hurt the next year? So why would you should leave when you're at the top and then go to the NBA instead of staying, and it'll be like, but Harrison Barnes did that and it worked out well for him.
So you never know. I do agree with you guys, though. That is very hypocritical. So they shouldn't do that at all. If he wants to go to the draft, then let him go. If he's going to be crazy, then let him cause controversy in the NBA.
I feel like he's going to be a good NBA player.
A lot of people are doubting him. They're saying he's not as good. But the person I'm worried about the most is Doug McDermott. Because if what does he have, 3,000 something points?
Yeah.
Something like that.
5th all time.
Yeah, 5th all time. You stayed off 4 years. Your dad's the coach. So when you go to the NBA, people are going to automatically assume he's not going to be that good. So I hope it doesn't end up like Jimmer Fredette and like just kind of fade away.
I think he's going to be like J.J. Redick, one of the best college basketball players to ever play the game. And then he goes to the NBA, and it takes him, like, J.J. Redick is just finally getting in the starting lineup for the Clippers.
Yeah.
And he's been in the NBA for like 6-7 years. So great, you see this in football too, great college performances don't translate to great pro careers.
That is a true statement. We see it a lot, though, so it's not surprised. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Is that we wouldn't be surprised if McDermott didn't do that, which I obviously don't want to happen. I like him a lot. He's a good guy. And he's 6'9". I didn't know he was 6'9". I didn't know he was 6'9". Julius Randle's 6'9". The Harrison twins are 6'6" and play point guard and shoot. It's not fair, man. It's not fair. I should be in the NBA right now.
All right. So speaking of college going to the NBA, Calipari says that he's not going to the NBA, but there are sources saying that he is going to the NBA. Could Calipari make it as an NBA coach?
I don't think so.
Only if he has all rookies on the team. If he gets all rookies, then yeah. I don't know, because we saw when Pete Carroll first tried, and that didn't go as well. But then the second time, obviously, he gets a Super Bowl after a couple of years. So I don't know. That's it's hard to say because you can't say he's not a good coach. Same thing with Tom Izzo. There's rumors that Tom Izzo might go to the NBA. And it's like when you're dealing with different players. Like these are teens that'll still look at you as an adult, an authority figure. And then you get to the NBA, it's like these are grown men. Like
They don't care.
they're older than your kids. You can't tell them, hey, be quiet. We've seen LeBron yell at Mario Chalmers and D Wade get into it with Eric Spoelstra. So these aren't kids anymore. These are grown men with bills and children running around their house that they got to feed at night. So we'll see. It's just a different type of relationship. So I don't know how he'll handle that.
I don't think he'd make a good NBA coach at all. It's like Rick Pitino made a horrible NBA coach. It will never happen. But there was speculation a couple years ago that Krzyzewski was going to go to the NBA, and I thought he would be a horrible NBA coach. He did good with Team USA, but that was because he had a bunch of superstars.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would do good in the NBA. I think John Calipari is a college basketball coach, and that's all he'll ever be. That's what he's good at.
Yeah. The only reason why he would go, it would be to get money. But I mean, you're the coach of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Every year you're going to get the top recruits. Everybody wants to go. You just went to he was even to the national championship 2 times in the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he almost went with John Wall. I think John Wall's team went to the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not like they're gonna it's not like he needs the money to go. I mean, obviously we know he's getting paid a lot.
Right.
So I mean, we'll see. I doubt it though.
All right. Well, I think we're all done with NCAA basketball. Let's move on. Talk about the NFL for a little bit. Just to spark a little bit of debate, who has got the biggest steal of the NFL free agency?
I don't know. It's a tough one. There's been so many moves so far. I can't really think of which one has been the biggest steal.
Right.
It's hard because you could say the Redskins, which I already know you probably feel that way. Deshaun Jackson, which makes sense. But then you look at the Patriots getting Bronner and Darrelle Revis, which helps our secondary a lot. And what have we complained about their secondary, their defense? What do they do? Get 2 defensive players. But then you look at the Broncos with DeMarcus Ware and Talib. So it's like, out of those top 3, it's really hard. I guess the Redskins are lower than them because they only got 1 person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still you can't just. Oh, and they got Ryan Clark as well.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
they did.
So it's hard. I mean, those are the top 3 people who made a big move, and that's gonna help them. Nobody's questioning any of those moves.
The Steelers also picked up Maurice Jones-Drew, though, didn't they?
No, I think
That was the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders.
Yeah.
He was about to go to.
I thought he was going to.
He visited the Steelers but he went to the Raiders. I guess because Steelers don't like paying people. They play the guys who have been Troy Polamalu will always get his money, but young great receiver who's arguably the fastest receiver in the NFL, Mike Wallace, can't get the money he wants. So that's how the Steelers are. They're very loyal to people, which is good. But come on, we would have kept Steve Smith, but let Cam Newton go. That's something they would do. I love him though. But yeah, he's on the Raiders. Is Darren McFadden still with the Raiders? I think he signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to watch. Because it's you got to stop Darren McFadden and you got to start MJD. Will, so you think you guys?
I think it's the Redskins and Deshaun Jackson, not because when you think of big steals during free agency, a lot of people will automatically think about the amount of money spent. Mm-hmm. But it's more what Deshaun Jackson, even though we're throwing a lot of money at him, what he brings to the organization. He's a perfect fit for the offense. He improves what we need from the draft. We don't need to focus on getting a young wide receiver anymore. We also take him away from the defending NFC East champions in the Eagles. So now they are going to have to work on their receiving core. So it's a triple threat no matter how much money we're spending on him.
I think the biggest thing is that if Robert Griffin can be the mobile player we saw his rookie year, which obviously he can't get up to that explosion. So I just want to see how he rehabs and comes back. If he can move and run and all of that, Deshaun Jackson will be right there. So every time he's scrambling, you can't catch Deshaun Jackson. I don't think it's possible. Mm-hmm. And I just think that just will be great for them. And then Alfred Morris. So we'll see how that goes. I think they'll do pretty well, though. I think the Redskins will finally be a threat. Finally.
Now that they have Deshaun Jackson.
Finally be a
threat. They were a threat 2 years ago.
No, not really.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't. They lost to the future Super Bowl champion. So.
Future. Keyword future.
They won the next year.
They didn't go that year, so. They were a bit of a threat. I agree with you, Will.
I don't think they.
No, I feel like this could be a year in the NFC East where instead of there's just the Eagles who were pretty much running away with the division. I don't know. Since I hate the Cowboys so much, I'm going to say that they're the only team since they have done nothing this offseason, and the Eagles are doing a little bit, but they're already good. The Redskins got Deshaun Jackson. The Giants are doing a lot. I feel like all three of those teams could possibly compete for the title and just leave the Cowboys in last place.
We've already written out the Cowboys.
The Cowboys are going to have the biggest move.
When?
It's going to come
I
1 month
swear
from now.
to God, if you say
And they are going to get
Johnny
who?
Manziel.
Yes.
No.
They are going to get Johnny
No.
Manziel. That's the storybook ending.
Johnny
to how his
Manziel isn't
career
going to
goes.
fall that far.
They're going to
That's
find a
true.
way. Jerry Jones
They're
will
gonna-
find a way.
They're going to
Finagle's
trade.
way
They're going to trade up. They're going to trade like.
They are.
They're gonna
They're
trade
the,
like
they're the
they're gonna-
richest franchise in NFL. They will find a way.
They're
You know how
gonna-
much Jerry Jones is worth? $2.7 billion.
Good job.
He'll find a way.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to trade Tony Romo to the Browns for their 5th pick.
Can you see that
hope
happening?
you're not right.
Honestly,
I really
you
hope
can
you're
see
not
that
right.
happening though. That's the sad part.
That's the sad thing.
Imagine
is I can
Johnny
see it
Manziel's
happening.
attitude and swag
Oh,
matched with
gosh.
Des Bryant and Crybaby,
Oh, my gosh,
and then
no.
DeMarco Murray who's chill. That would be that's perfect.
And then Jerry Jones just sitting up in the press box.
Johnny
so happy.
Manziel, DeMarco Murray, Des
It's
Bryant.
not going to happen.
Looks just
It's
like
not-
who? Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith.
They're not going to be the next triple.
They're just identical.
No,
I can just see it right now.
The Cowboys will never get rid of Tony Romo since they trusted him enough to sit in Jerry Jones's press box last night with Clinton and George Bush.
Exactly.
Oh.
You
Wait,
said Clinton and
wasn't-
George Bush? Who was that Johnny Manziel's?
That's what I was about to say. The Bushes.
The Bushes,
George.
right? I'm telling you, it is a foreshadowing, man. It is foreshadowing. I'm
Stop,
telling you, that is
man,
going to
stop.
happen, and I cannot wait till you hear the Browns have traded for Tony Romo for the whatever pick, I think it's 4th or 6th, and it's Johnny Manziel getting a phone call, and you going to call me and be like, Amir, I apologize.
All right.
I don't think he
you
would
can see it. Jerry
apologize
Jones,
to
you
them.
know Jerry Jones doesn't have to listen to anybody but himself. He would do something like that. And Johnny Manziel, where else?
But he's
What's a better place for him to go to than the Cowboys?
Why? So you can just
It's the
say
best team to play
Texas?
for in the NFL. Money-wise.
Okay, money-wise, sure.
Not winning-wise.
Exactly.
Money-wise.
Exactly.
So you don't. It's not going to be the NFC least.
No, it's going
Like
to
it
be
was last
it's going to be the good old-fashioned NFC East.
The good old-fashioned powerhouse.
Yeah.
NFC.
Except for the Cowboys.
Powerhouse.
We're the winningest division in the NFL. We're going to become the powerhouse that we once were.
Eventually.
But it's going to be without Johnny Manziel playing for the Cowboys.
Right.
No, I'm telling you, that would make the NFC just. I will only watch the Cowboys play just to watch Johnny Manziel.
All right. You know what? I'm done talking.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see in a month. We'll find out in a month. How's that?
There's a petition going around in State University of New York, Cortland, to ban Michael Vick from going to training camp for the Jets because of his criminal history with the dog fighting thing years and years ago. The way I see it, he served his sentence. He's got a clean slate. He's got a new life in the NFL. You can't keep him from going to training camp and doing
Yeah,
his job.
That's
stupid.
just dumb.
I mean, he played for the Eagles right after he got out of jail. Granted, they could protest because he was just gotten out of jail. But he's been out of jail for so long. Why are they still worried about it?
Can you imagine if the Bengals played in New York and they were going to training camp
Oh,
at SUNY
gosh.
Portland?
The whole team would
How many
be able
people
to.
would be banned from that?
It's
training
Tank
camp?
Johnson. Remember Tank Johnson? The guy who he had a gun charge every
Oh,
year.
Yeah, yeah.
He wouldn't be able to go to. If your coach is Rex Ryan, the same guy who cusses reporters out. And, we have nothing wrong with that.
But the dog fighting is the issue.
But the guy who went to jail. Didn't Plaxico Burress go to the Jets?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
They didn't protest him.
They just
Okay,
don't like
I
Michael Vick.
don't think it's. I think they've got more of a problem with the dogs than they do.
But
with,
what would you rather have? A
Jail
guy?
time.
Okay, Michael Vick wasn't doing it. He just gave his friends the money to do it. That's different. He didn't.
okay, don't try to defend the guy.
And then,
It happened,
and then
he served
Plaxico
his
Burress
sentence.
shot himself with his own gun and went to jail.
It's
That is the
like-
dumbest. Why would you want a guy on your team who went to jail because he shot himself?
Who knows?
He went to jail for like 3 years.
I know,
How
it
do
did
you
go
tell
for
people
that.
that? Hey,
I
why
have
you
no-
in
I
here?
have
I
no
shot
answer
myself
for
on accident. That is dumb. Bicycle Birds is dumb. When he was on the Steelers, he never did anything like that.
All right, well, okay. Well, the Jets haven't even decided that they're going back to Cortland, so I think the way I see it is if you have this many people, because they're close to the 5,000 signatures they need for anybody to even consider
Oh, I'm not
it.
surprised. I'm not surprised.
So the way I see it, if they get enough signatures, the Jets just aren't going to go back to Cortland. They're going to find a new place to go to training camp before it gets to that many signatures.
The Jets have I don't know, I've never seen it, but I've heard that it's a really nice training camp location in Florham Park, New Jersey, that they go to.
So
I
they
mean,
should just use that
yeah,
instead. And it's so
that's
much closer.
that's where their practice facility is. So just, I mean, that's what the Giants did. They used to go to University of Albany, but now they just do their training camp at the Meadowlands in their practice facility. So that's just, well, the Jets do that.
It's a lot more
The
convenient
Jets
for
is
them
trying to
too.
get into the media, man.
Yeah, that's
That's
what they always
true.
do.
Nobody cares anymore.
Rex
Mark
Ryan
Sanchez
is
is gone. We can't
always
complain
on.
about him.
Oh
Rex Ryan isn't that fun anymore. Like Hard Knocks, that's the Rex Ryan I love. Rex Ryan
Yes.
lost weight.
Now
You
he's
know,
just crazy.
He's like
still.
calm now.
Oh my gosh. I saw the funniest
Not the same
picture. I'm
person.
sorry. This is so funny. I saw a picture of Napoleon Dynamite. It was Pedro
God.
and Napoleon. And it was Mark Sanchez.
And Nick Foles.
I saw that pic. That was terrible. That was.
So
I
funny.
laughed though. But
Yeah, it was funny.
It was clever. It's kind of mean though.
A little.
All right, moving on. Or do you guys want to talk about the draft a little bit? I know
No, we are talking
all your
about
conspiracies
Manziel. We're
about
good.
Manziel going to the Cowboys. If you want to throw any more,
it's the same thing every week. Manziel
Yeah.
to the Cowboys and Clowney's going first. No, I don't think Clowney's gonna go first. Actually, I don't. That's
Where's
the one
Clowney
thing
gonna
I don't
go?
know who's gonna be number one.
That's,
Because you know in the NFL draft they'll end up picking some random offensive
Person.
offensive tackle that nobody knows who's great, but we didn't know who he was. So
yeah. But the
like,
Texans' main concern right now
was a quarterback.
Is a quarterback.
But is Clowney?
Blake Bortles.
Yeah, Blake's gonna go first, probably.
Blake first.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Clowney went first.
Neither would I.
With Khalil Mack. With Johnny Manziel.
Wait, so then that kind of means you're saying he might go to the Texans.
Oh yeah. I mean you can't just
So
have
he's
one-
staying in Texas.
can't just have
We
one
got that
theory.
established.
You can't
Johnny's
have one
staying in
thi-
Texas.
you can- Yeah, he's gonna be in
Okay.
Texas. Not just we don't know which one yet.
Okay.
Or Jacksonville. He's gonna be in
Or
the South.
Cleveland.
Okay.
you
He's
know,
gonna be
anywhere.
he's gonna be in the South.
All right. Let's move on to the Major League Baseball.
All right, let's do it.
Today was the 40th anniversary of Hank Aaron's 715th home run. Looked and so I was online checking some facts about this, and came up a debate whether or not there's ever going to be another 700 home run hitter.
I don't think so.
What do you guys
No.
think? No.
I don't.
Pitching
I
in
can
this
see
in this age is too good for there to be another 700 home run hitter.
Mhm.
And I think we're finally on the outskirts of the steroid era. So all the players in future generations are going to be clean.
Mhm.
So I don't think there's ever going to be hitters like Hank Aaron again.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you look at who was the last person, Barry Bonds, and I mean, we know how that story went.
Asterisks.
Yeah, asterisks in the Hall of Fame. That's great. Like A-Rod was supposed to be the next person,
How did that one end?
and now it's like his story was here, then it was here, now it's just straight down.
A-Rod was on pace a couple years ago when he hit his 600th home run. He was on pace to break the all-time home run record this season.
Wow.
And when was
That's
that? Was
awkward.
what 2
That was
years?
2011 or 2012.
Yeah, that wasn't. Wow, that would have. And what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, what hip injury?
Ankle? Did he hurt his ankle too or no?
PEDs.
PEDs.
Yeah.
Him speaking Spanish at the
broke his
press
wrist.
conference because he's too lazy speaking. You remember?
I just don't see how that would affect him getting home
I'm just
runs.
saying. Like, I'm just saying. Like he's changing.
All right.
Like he hasn't been speaking Spanish all his life. Yeah, I don't see anybody doing it honestly.
No.
I could be the big Nationals fan and say Bryce Harper, but I mean, hey, I don't think Bryce would probably get hits.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got for tonight. I'm Will Ovington.
Travis Nardella.
I'm Amanda Newman.
And I'm Amir Carter.
Thanks
Have
for
a good
watching.
night.